So these black loyalists that we're talking about were characterized by a free and independent spirit that often made them a problem for the British colonizers, right? They were a thorn in the side of the British governors in the early colony of Sierra Leone. One of the things they didn't like about the Nova Scotians is how American they were. They had that American spirit of liberty and equality, and they had brought that to Sierra Leone in grades, right?
Why don't I know about Thomas Peters? Why? His story just fascinated me. Okay, here was a man who was captured as a young man in Nigeria, brought to America as a slave. He was a rebellious slave. Okay, he was sold several times. When the British made an offer, for slaves to fight on their side and they'll get their freedom, he jumped. Fought for the British. He became a sergeant in the regiment called the Black Pioneers. Of course, the British lost. Thomas Peters and the others went to Nova Scotia and Canada as a black loyalist.
I spent a month in the National Archives in England, going through the colonial records of the 1790s to roughly the 1830s. And it was a real eye-opener to see how contradictory, how discriminatory, how confused British policies were in Sierra Leone. And bear in mind, this was actually the first British colony in Africa. It was an experiment. And the British made a mess of it, not surprisingly, because none of the British who were in charge of this experiment had any prior experience in Africa whatsoever.
Locked and bonded on cruise ships, sailing on the shores of the Atlantic, having been moved by sugar, sweet tooth, cotton cloth economics. A sound from Mozart as art clashed with stained symphonies and Afro-liberty cries for freedom.
My name is Beckley, and current Miss Australian World 2011. It's really weird because I'm a poet, that's a model. So.
They crossed the oceans with a plan to bring civilization, but committed the worst crimes beyond human imaginations. Yeah, we fought for our rights and we fought for our freedom, but we gave in to the whites and were enslaved in our own kingdom. See, we were locked up in chains. We worked in all weathers, in the hailstorms and rains. We were beaten. On our turned shirts, you could see red spot stains. Whole body dripping where their backs blood just drains. You may think this hurts was the least of their pains and the last of their worries. The rip times that I tell some slave stories. See, I'm a youth now reminiscing on if this position was me. But my ancestors were sold, bought, and fought to set me free in this land of opportunity to just let me be, not use my color as an excuse, but to strive to succeed. And yes, indeed, I do intend to not let their hard days go in vain, to not see their shadows as strange. See, they call you an other, but supposedly, your black brother. So by then, we're still slaves within our own race, to the downfall of a black man, and the smile crosses the other's face, that we're not able to face reality. To rule ourselves, we show incapability.